All right, so our coding challenge for today is going to be replace with alphabet position. So let's see what that's going to be. All right, so the directions are, welcome. In this kata, you are required to, given a string, replace every letter with its position in the alphabet. If anything in the text isn't a letter, ignore it and don't return it. A being 1, B being 2, etc. So the example it gives is the sun sets at 12 o'clock, and it gives the position in the alphabet of each of those. So let's go ahead and set our time for this. I think I can get this done in 30 minutes. All right, so the first thing we need to do is normalize this. So we can see here that there's some capital letters, and since I think I'm going to try to use character codes, the first thing we're going to need to do is normalize the text. So we are going to normalize. So since we're using character codes, we can then, let's see, I think even space characters have a character code, if I'm not mistaken. So if we have the range of character codes that we're going to be using, anything that falls outside of that range we can just ignore. And that way we don't have to, like, we could use regular expressions to do that, so we need to ignore anything falling outside of the character range. So we're going to ignore things outside of the character range. All right, so to do this, let's first figure out what the character codes are, because I don't remember them off the top of my head. So we're just going to console log that. So console log, I think it's string dot char code from, I believe. That we are probably gonna have to Google that. Let's see what this gives us though. Missing. Okay, so missing a parens here. All right, so yeah, this isn't the method. So all right, what is the actual method for character codes? JavaScript. It's not char code at, from char code. So not char code from, but from char code. Okay. So from char code. All right, now it's not logging anything. How does this work again? Okay, so from char code. Okay, so for this one, we would need the actual number representing the character code. So we actually want to go backwards and get the... Oh, okay. So this is going to give us the number. And it takes an index. Okay. All right, so we're just going to say let string equal a, and then we're going to get the char code at index 0. This is all just to get the character code. What am I missing here? Okay. Character code at. Okay, now it's character code at. Okay. All right, now this should work. Okay, 97. So our lower bounds is going to be 97, and then we're going to go all the way to z. We're just going to try to remember 97, and z would be 122. I'm just going to add them in a comment so I don't have to memorize them. So 97 and 122. All right, so now let's just iterate through this text and get the character code of each of these. And we are going to subtract. Okay, so, all right, first let's normalize the text. So we have our text, and we are going to make sure that it just is all lowercase. So let's see if we can remember that method. I think it's toLower. I don't think it takes any arguments. toLowerCase, maybe? Okay. All right, so good. toLowerCase is what we needed, so we're going to say const, let's call it text lower. Okay, so now we have the text, but it's all lowercase. All right, so now we can iterate through that. So for let I equals, whoops, let I equal 0. That's just going to be our index that we're iterating through the string with. While I is less than text lower length, because we want to go through every character in text lower, we're going to iterate I by 1. So we're going to go up by 1. All right, so now so basically we only want to deal with anything that falls within the character codes that we're looking for, so between 97 and 122, and that'll eliminate all white space characters as well as anything that's like not a alphabet character, so like parentheses and punctuation, all of that. So if let's first capture the character code. So let car code equal, let's actually just call this code, equal text lower. I've already forgotten I think it's character code at, and I think that's the method. And instead of 0 here, we're going to use the index I, so it iterates through every character in the string. So code now equals the character code at that index. So if code is greater than or equal to 97, and code is less than or equal to 122, we are going to, I guess we have to add it to a array here. So const r equals, and let's just make it an empty array, r push code. So we're just going to add it to the array if it falls within that range. But let's go ahead and just subtract what we need to off of it now so that we don't have to iterate through the array after all the codes have been inputted. So we're going to subtract everything by 96. That way we're actually, getting back the number that it would be in the alphabet as opposed to the character code. I think now we just have to console log array, and we're going to join it, and it looks here that it looks like it expects a space in between. So for the argument on join, we're going to just say add a white space character here, just add a space, and let's see what we get with this. Text lowercase, yep, extra parentheses here. Okay, so it wants us to return it, not actually console log it, but it looks like it's what we want. So we're actually going to return this. Okay, looks like that's what we want. Let's see if we actually pass all the tests here. So we're going to attempt it, and it looks like we did. Okay, so let's see how long that took us. 10 minutes, so not bad. So now let's see what the top result was. Takes a second for it to actually submit. See, if I'm just looking at this, it's pretty verbose. I'm sure the top one's pretty quick. So the top one uses regex, which I guess would be the other way to do this, and a map. So it's actually creating the array based on the return. They normalize the text just like I did, and they're doing everything in a return statement. So not that dissimilar to what I did. All right, so if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and happy coding.